everyone, and welcome back to The Girl with the Shovel. I'm Angela, and today we are going to talk about repotting our aloe vera. So to repot your aloe vera, you're just going to need a few things. You're going to definitely need your aloe vera that you want to repot. You're going to need a new pot, and you're going to need some soil. Now I'm going to talk about each of these later on as we get to that step about pot selection and soil selection and different types that works best for aloe vera. So let's just get into it. So step one is to remove your aloe vera from its current pot. Now I have this in another pot. So you can see here, it's pretty tight. It's a very small pot for how big this plant has gotten since I've bought it about 6 months ago, probably about. So I also don't like the soil that it's in. So it's just time, it's time. Okay, so that is a small little pot. We're gonna get you a new little home soon. So as you're moving it out of your pot, if it gets a little stuck, the plastic pots, you can kind of squeeze around it. The ceramic pots, maybe get a little knife and run your way around the edge. Be careful when you're doing that, but sometimes those roots just stick into that ceramic. This came out pretty good though, so we're happy. Step number two is to loosen up your roots like we're doing here. I kind of want to get some of those circling roots out, loosen it up to encourage it to kind of spread when it's in its new pot. I also want to remove any roots that look damaged or mushy. Any mushy roots mean that it's got some root rot going on. I don't think I'll have too many issues with this guy. It's mainly just this soil is just very interesting. So as part of this, our step three, which is kind of optional if you're in this situation, some of you may have little pups or little tiny little aloe veras that are growing off of your main aloe vera. Now would be the time where you could remove those. It'll have a little root that connects them. You'll have to snip that. I have that on my other aloe vera, but I'll probably have that part of my propagation video. But for now, we don't have that, but if you do have that, now would be the time to separate those pups. So moving on to step four is to place your aloe vera in its new pot with some soil. Okay, so it sounds pretty simple, but a few things you want to keep in mind to have success further down the road with your aloe vera, because obviously this is some really, really dense soil. It's holding on to a lot of water here, and that could really cause some issues, especially if you tend to water it a little more frequently. I tend to kind of underwater my plants, so I've been able to keep it alive with it, but it's definitely time to give it some new soil. Okay, so let me switch that out. And some more soil here. I talked about this in my aloe vera plant care video. This is 1/3 sand, 1/3 perlite, and 1/3 houseplant soil. Now the reason why I use sand in my aloe vera soil mix is because it adds weight. Okay, aloe veras kind of have a smaller root system and they're really top heavy, and a lot of people have issues with them falling over, especially when they start growing more leaves. So you can add sand to your mix and it'll actually keep it really light and airy, but also weigh down your soil a little bit more than perlite would. And this then goes on to pots, okay? Now, you can use a plastic pot. I would prefer if you use a plastic pot in another pot that would kind of help also weigh it down. But you can also use a terracotta pot. I'm gonna be using one today. Now, it's better to go wider than deep, but this is the one that I had on hand. It's kind of difficult to find a wide terracotta pot. If you have one, that's amazing. Definitely use it for your aloe vera as long as it's not too big. This is the biggest I would go, okay? And then also, if you want to encourage more pups, go even wider, but keep it shallow, okay? And that will help encourage it to spread and to create more of those offsets for you. And then when you're putting it in, make sure that you don't have it like way up at top and like mound it down. Make sure that it kind of sits a little further down. That will also help it not become super top heavy in the future. Okay, so here you have it. You could see I did put it down a little bit more into that pot. So you've got a wide brim, but it is also a bit taller of a pot. So we had the space. Also, this is very deep for this aloe vera. Like I said, I wouldn't do any more, but that's just what I had on hand. All of my wide ones are being used. I need to increase my collection of pots because I've been doing so much propagating lately. But this is how to repot your aloe vera. Make sure that after it's repotted that you go light on the watering, especially if you were breaking up a lot of roots or ripping any apart or separating any. Make sure that you go light on the watering for the first little bit so that it doesn't get any bacterial problems where those cuts are in the roots. And then also make sure that you baby it a little bit depending on how rough you were on it. I'm going to go ahead, this was under some plant light, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back under there. But if you have it in hot direct sunlight, just give it like a day or two before you put it back under that hot direct sunlight. And then it should be wonderful for you. If you want more tips on how to take care of your aloe vera plant, check out my video on aloe vera plant care, where I talk about how to keep it alive, as well as if you're struggling with the watering, if you're seeing root rot issues, if you're seeing either black mushy leaves or you're seeing really dried kind of scrunchy leaves, then check out my video on how to water your aloe vera. I've got lots of really quick, awesome tips on how to get that watering right, because once you get the watering right, I feel like this little guy isn't too difficult to keep alive. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any more awesome plant care tips and tricks and tutorials. And I will see you in the next video.